Good afternoon, viewers. My name is Ida Chama. I'm the acting head of Nutrition and Education Communication Unit from National Food and Nutrition Commission. Today we are going to discuss or talk about breastfeeding. We know that breastfeeding is one of the practices that we recommend as government of Zambia, and there are certain practices that we are recommending. So to start with, I know everyone knows that breastfeeding, every mother with a child requires to breastfeed, but this is not the scenario in Zambia. We know that there are people who are not breastfeeding, mothers, parents, and to talk about this breastfeeding, we are going to look at it in three parts. We'll look at early initiation, then we'll go to exclusive breastfeeding, and then we'll also talk about continued breastfeeding. And then lastly, probably in the later session, then we'll talk of complementary feeding. So like I have said, breastfeeding, this is one of the practices that we would want to recommend because it contributes to child survival. Looking at the Zambian scenario, breastfeeding alone contributes to the reduction of child mortality, that is the death of children to die before the age of 1 year. If you do proper, exclusive, or the recommended breastfeeding practice, you'll find that breastfeeding will contribute 13% to the reduction of child mortality, which is a plus to all of us in the nation if we encourage all parents to breastfeed. Now, like I said earlier, looking at the Zambia scenario, we'll start with early initiation. What do I mean by early initiation? Early initiation, you'll find that early initiation of breastfeeding, it is breastfeeding or putting the baby on the breast soon after birth, within the first hour after delivery. That's what we are referring to as early initiation of the baby to the breast. Why are we doing that? We do realize that actually breast milk is the best for the baby. We know breast milk is the perfect food for the newly born baby. Not only newly born, all the way up to the age when this baby actually reaches 2 years or beyond. But before that, there are these practices that we are promoting. I have zeroed down on early initiation. This one has to be done in the first hour of birth. Immediately the mother has a child or has delivered, the baby has to be put on the breast so that the baby can start suckling. And this should be done before 1 hour after delivery elapses. What are the benefits for this practice? We are saying that when the baby is born, we need to train the child or to strengthen the suckling effect that the baby has. Of course, when the baby is born, that suckling effect in the mouth, it's not as strong. The baby has to be taught that the baby has to suckle on the breast so that the muscles around the mouth of the baby are strong. So in doing that, you'll see that the baby won't have any difficulties when it comes to breastfeeding. And then apart from the suckling, strengthening the suckling effect, you find that the same early initiation of the baby to the breast also helps the mother to bond with the baby. This is a caring effect that we really need. Every person requires somebody who loves that person, and this newly born baby who has just been introduced in the environment needs to adjust, and the only person who would cuddle, who hold, who feed this baby is the mother. So once you do that, you start putting the baby on the breast soon after delivery. The baby feels welcomed, the baby feels well cuddled, well cared for, and this baby will find that even the growth of this baby will be actually much better. So early initiation of the baby to the breast soon after delivery, within the first hour of birth, it helps also actually the mother to feel to help the baby actually start now feeling at home. So it is quite a very important practice. Now, looking at the milk itself, the milk that comes out of the breast, in the first hour, you won't see it with your naked eye. But the baby will be able to suckle the little milk that comes out of the breast, which we call cholesterol. It has all the benefits that the baby requires. You know, the baby in the first few days would need to pass the meconium, the first stool, that blackish or greenish stool. The baby needs to pass it out. So it's the first milk that helps the baby to pass that type of a stool. So it is really important for us all to ensure that new mothers, even old mothers, sometimes because of other traditional practices, other people wouldn't want to put the baby on the breast. So we are encouraging all parents that you need to put the baby on the breast soon after delivery, for the reasons that I have already said, to enhance bonding, to help the baby pass mucus, and also to let the baby feel loved and also enjoys the nutrition that the first milk provides to the baby.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Rain Glow, your smart irrigation partner. Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Rain Glow, your smart irrigation partner. Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Rain Glow, your smart irrigation partner. Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Rain Glow, your smart irrigation partner. Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Rain Glow, your smart irrigation partner. Water is life.
Thank you very much. It's another beautiful Monday. Welcome to the Lunch Time Cafe on Camnet TV. My name is Marco Kwakozi. This is a program that comes to you every 12 hours from Mondays to Thursdays, and we give you nothing but what is happening around us. We also take you back in time just to remind you of what used to happen in those particular days in a segment we call the Forgotten Stories segment. We start with the Nutrition Corner just to give you an idea of what you should eat and what you should not eat, and what time you should eat what you should eat. So this is the Lunchtime Cafe on Camnet TV. You are catching us on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 225 on GoTV, and on Topstar we are on channel 106. We are also broadcasting to you live on our Facebook page, which is Camnet TV, and not forgetting our YouTube channel, which is also Camnet TV. So those are the platforms you can catch us live if you want to follow the proceedings of this particular program. Now, today is Monday the 31st of July 2023. This is the last day in the month of July. Tomorrow we start a new month, which is August. And remember that on Wednesday, the show, the Lusaka Agriculture and Commercial Show begins. And you, if you have any products that you are showcasing, products and services that you are showcasing at this year's show, you can call our marketing department market so that we give you the stunt coverages at very, very competitive prices. So that is about the show, but let's get into the program this morning. We are going to start with the emerging stories. Now, this is a segment that gives you stories of what is happening around us right now, because our reporters are in the fields right now and giving us updates on what they are working on. Now, these stories will be developed into news items that will be shown during our 1930 main news. So shortly after this break, we are going to be getting into a segment we call the Emerging Stories segment, so that we show you what is happening around the country just now.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Thank you very much. Welcome back, and we are now on a segment that we call the Emerging Stories segment. Now let's start with a story that says a newly formed organization which aims at looking at the plight of deaf-blind children has observed the need to come up with a communication intervention for the people living with this disability. Now, in an interview with Camnet News, Luyando Deaf Blind Initiative Foundation, Ludebif board chairman Josias Manyoni says his organization believes that people living with deaf-blind disability have not received the much-needed attention as other disabilities. Now, he says there is need to establish a center to begin to teach the deaf-blind people how to communicate with the world around them. Now, and organization executive director Lazarus Ndlovu says Ludebif wants to better the lives of deaf-blind people and help their caregivers to have more time to engage in economic activities. Let's have a look at this.
We know very well that other disabilities have been given very clear attention. For example, the deaf have got the School of the Deaf. They have even associations. We have the blind who have got also their School of the Blind. We have seen other associations that actually are looking after other disabilities. But for this type of disability, yes, it could have received certain attention, but the attention might not have been as much as other disabilities have received. And that's the intention of Luyando Deaf Blind Initiative Foundation, to make sure that this disability receives as much attention as any other disabilities.
As an organization, we have brought in what we call communication intervention. This intervention is going to be given to the parent, to the caregiver, the child herself or himself. Why? We want to break the barriers where a child is unable to communicate with the world, is unable to communicate and interact with the surrounding. So once that communication is taught, we want the child to use what we call the residual senses that have remained in them. For example, the tactile sense. We need to utilize it.
So that's the story about the deaf blind. So we do expect the details of that particular story in our main news at 19:30 this evening. Now moving on, another story that is coming this time from Luapula province. The opposition Patriotic Front has alleged that President Hakainde Hichilema has left an instruction to the police for the police to harass and arrest PF members. Now, PF chairperson for Information and Publicity, Raphael Nakatinda, alleged that President Hichilema left an instruction before leaving for Israel. He alleges that the arrests and harassments will be due to the former President Edgar Lungu's visit to Minga. Now, Mr. Nakatinda charges that the visit to Minga has destabilized President Hichilema.
But what is more saddening this morning is to hear of the instructions that Mr. Hakainde Hichilema has left behind on his way to Israel to try and create a disruption. He would want that this week there's a record of those that will be harassed by the police and also arrested and things like that because of the fact that a simple visit of the former head of state to Minga has destabilized him and has caused him to lose his peace. It was a simple exercise of going to join, congregants of the Catholic Church to celebrate 100 years centenary celebration of the Catholic Church in Minga, and also 25 years of Bishop Lungu having been consecrated to that office. It's very sad that every attempt or every moment the Patriotic Front is, the Zambian people express gratitude and also appreciation of our work when we're in government, the UPN resort to try and start arresting people. It's very sad, but we thought the Zambian people could just be aware and watch the space.
So that is about the Republican president and Raphael Nakatinda, the PF Information and Publicity chairperson, alleging that there is an instruction to harass and arrest some members of the Patriotic Front due to the visit of the former Republican president to Minga. Now, that is another story that we expect to make a feature in the main news at 19:30 tonight. Now, moving on, Republican President Hakainde Hichilema has arrived in Israel, where he has been invited for a state visit. Now, President Hichilema's visit is not only a significant milestone towards strengthening the bilateral cooperation between Zambia and Israel. It also serves as reinforcement of enduring alliance grounded in shared values and mutual aspirations for prosperity between the two nations. Now, during the visit, President Hichilema is expected to engage in crucial talks with His Excellency President Herzog and His Excellency Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of the State of Israel, as well as high-ranking officials. Now, the discussions will delve into critical bilateral and regional issues, prioritizing peace, security, and peace-building initiatives. A key highlight of the visit will be a signing of the Zambia-Israel General Framework Agreement of Cooperation, jointly presided over by President Hichilema and President Herzog. Now, this broad-based agreement is designed to pave way for the multifaceted collaboration between the two countries. Beyond the official engagements, President Hichilema will also be opening the Zambia-Israel Business Forum under the theme agro-business opportunities to guarantee food security. So that is about the president's visit to Israel. We expect a build-up on that particular story as well. Now, moving on, we get into our last story for this afternoon, and it comes from New Zealand, where the Copper Queens have registered their first World Cup win after beating Costa Rica by 3-1. Now, it only took defender Lucio Momwene 2 minutes to make history by becoming the first Zambian to score a World Cup goal. Now, Barbara Banda scored the 1000th goal of the Women's World Cup in the 31st minute after coolly converting from the spot. In added time, Rachel Kundananji scored the goal that made Zambia become the first Southern African team to win a World Cup match. Thank you very much. So that is about the Copper Queens and their win against Costa Rica this morning, where they scored 3 against Costa Rica's 1 in a highly entertaining match played in that particular country. So that's about the stories we had for you that are emerging. We do expect to see them also at 19:30 this evening, as the reporters are still working on them to make sure that they are they come with full details at 19:30. So don't forget to join us on channel 274 DSTV and 25 on GoTV and channel 106 on Topstar at 19:30, so that you catch the details of those particular story. Also remember that we are live on a Facebook page, which is Camnet TV, and also not forgetting our YouTube channel, which is Camnet TV. Those are the channels you can catch us on. And for this particular program, if you have any questions and contributions, you can send them to our WhatsApp, to our Facebook page, which is Camnet TV. So go to that particular page, like it and follow it, and then go to this particular broadcast because it's live on that page, and go to the comment section. Leave your comments there. We'll be more than happy to see what you think about what we are looking at this particular afternoon. Now we take another short break, and when we come back, we'll be getting into the next segment, which is the Forgotten Stories segment.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet Television, call the numbers on your screen. Television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Television, not just another channel.
Hey, join me, Amazing Katamanda, on the weekly gospel show for those exciting and interesting interviews with your favorite gospel
Hold on to me when it's too dark to see. You cannot put your power back to Hallelujah.
And this time around, we are bringing to you entertainment news and the counter, as you guys are able to nominate your top 3 favorite music videos of the week. Remember, it's every Saturday at 10:45. You can also catch repeats every Monday at 10 hours. Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Welcome back. You are still watching the Lunchtime Cafe on Camnet TV. We're broadcasting to you live on channel 274 on DSTV, and on GoTV on channel 25, and on Topstar we're on channel 106. You can go to our Facebook page, also it is Camnet TV, and go to the comment section and leave your comments as regards what we are looking at this particular afternoon. We'll be more than happy to see what you think about what we are discussing. We now get into the next segment, and this segment is called the Forgotten Stories segment, where we just refresh your memories by giving you some stories that used to happen some time back, a few years ago, just to see where we have come from. And we start with a story when the local government minister Charles Banda had appointed Nixon Mukwapu and Adam Jere as local government administrators for Lusaka City Council and Kitwe City Council, following the suspension of the two councils. Let's have a look at this.
Pursuant to Section 56(1)(a) of the Local Government Act No. 2 of 2019, Minister of Local Government Charles Banda suspended Lusaka and Kitwe City Councils on the 27th of July 2020 to pave way for investigations to take place.
Suspended the Lusaka City Council for 3 months to give us chance to correct the ills that are in that council.
This was resulted after a confrontation between the Matero Member of Parliament, Lloyd Kajia, and Councillor Annie Chinyanta over an illegal land. According to the minister, the suspension of the two councils are meant to allow proper investigations to take place on the matter to do with land. In this regard, the minister has appointed Nixon Mukwapu and Adam Jere as local government administrators to foresee the policy and decision-making in the councils and institute an investigations into the two councils.
I wish to inform the nation that I have appointed Mr. Nixon Mukwapu and Mr. Adam Jere as local government administrators for Lusaka and Kitwe City Councils respectively for a period of 90 days. The appointed local government administrators will discharge the functions of the councils, which will include but not limited to A, policy and decision making, and B, investigations into alleged illegal allocation of land. Colleagues, the local government administrator for Lusaka City Council will be required to facilitate investigations into alleged illegalities and disorderly allocation of land in Lusaka district by any council officer or civic leader through an ad hoc committee of officers from government ministries pursuant to Section 34(2), read with Section 33 of the Local Government Act No. 2 of 2019.
And Dr. Banda has refuted claims that the council's behavior are an indication of the corruption in the Patriotic Front government.
To say that the minister acted ultra vires, I have not acted ultra vires, I'm within the law. And I've not, the suspensions do not confirm any corruption at all. It is a way of trying to establish whether a wrong was done or not. And we'll come back later with the results. We'll tell you there was nothing, or we'll tell you there was something, and we'll give you the way forward. So they can go ahead with their press briefing and mislead the people, but the truth is we're doing the right thing, and it is one way of cleansing ourselves. We are doing some retrospection to ensure that we are on the right trajectory. Remember, President Edgar Chagwa Lungu is very firm on the ground fighting against corruption. And this is one way we can prove to the people that we are fighting corruption.
The suspension of the two councils are for a period of 3 months, meaning that the local government administrators will also serve for a period of 3 months, and hopefully by then the investigations will be done. Sharon Kalimbula, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Thank you very much. So that was a story about the appointment of Mr. Jere and Mr. Mukwapu as local government administrators for the Lusaka City Council and the Kitwe City Council following the suspension of the two local authorities as regards running the two institutions. Now, moving on, the PF last in 2020 on this day were rejoicing after they had scooped a number of seats, local government seats, in a by-election. Let's have a look at this.
By-elections held in Western, Northwestern, Central and Luapula provinces commenced on the 30th of July, leading the ruling Patriotic Front to winning 10 wards, leaving the opposition with 5. Patriotic Front has won 10 wards. 8 of these are strongholds of the opposition United Party for National Development, UPND. A statement availed to the media by Patriotic Front Secretary General Davis Mwila, the party has thanked its structures and members at grassroots level for their untiring efforts to try and familiarize Zambian citizens with the Patriotic Front developmental agenda. The statement reads, elections at ward level are extremely important because they reflect the real voices and desires of ordinary citizens at grassroots level. On the other hand, the opposition UPND has thanked its voters and expressed happiness with the party's victory in Limulunga ward by-election of Western Province.
Thank you very much. We have won the Limulunga ward by-election in Wena constituency. As you know, that this place is the palace which represents the people of the Western Province. It is the Barose place. When the people of Limulunga have spoken, they have indicated that they are ready for change, the change for 2021, and with Akainde Hichilema. So this election, we have won. We may lose other by-election, but this election was more important because everybody in Western Province, their focus was in this ward, because it's a ward which is very respected within the people of the Barose land. We as UPND, we want to thank the people of the Barose, the people of Limulunga for the demonstration they have done. Despite many provocations, there were a lot of millions, a lot of money, but at the end of the day, the people of Limulunga have shown that they are ready to change government.
UPND Deputy National Youth Chairman in charge of politics, Gilbert Liswaniso, says despite political intimidation experienced as a party and electoral misconduct by Patriotic Front, the people of Mwilunga have resolved for change of regime. Constance Mwemba reporting for Camnet TV News, Lusaka. Human rights activist Michael Zulu has advised the opposition in Zambia to pull up their socks. Zulu has observed opposition political parties in Zambia will miss the chance of forming government in the upcoming 2021 general elections. He says the ruling Patriotic Front are at the higher chance of winning the general elections, hence the opposition needs to work extra hard. Zulu attributed his thoughts to the scooping of 10 wards by the ruling Patriotic Front in the last by elections held in different parts of the country on the 30th of July 2020.
The wind of change is neither here nor there, as you can see from the results of the by-elections. I mean, our politics has a lot of dynamics, and for me, I think the opposition is not doing enough to lure voters to their side, despite you know, all the failings by the ruling party. You can talk of the bad economy, for example, the cost of the kwacha, and this is before COVID. You know, the health situation of the people, the poverty, but still the opposition does not seem to be that relevant to the politics of the day, because the majority of the opposition victory now is on social media. And unfortunately, the majority of Zambians are not on social media. You know, the bundles are too expensive now, so the majority of the voters are on the ground. And if you are not appealing to the ground, and especially the young people, like I said in my...
He adds, as a human rights activist, he cares about the welfare of Zambian citizens, and it begins with good leadership.
Being a human rights activist, I'm concerned about, you know, the political landscape. For example, when you bring issues of governance, these are issues that affect everybody. whether you are participating in the politics, whether you are in the church, whether you are just, free from everything, you are affected by whoever is running the politics of the day. So
the opposition in many occasions have been seen saying there is a wind of change in Zambia, but many have been disappointed that the opposition are not on the ground looking at the results of the recent by-elections. Constance Mwemba reporting for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
So that was in 2020 when we had by-elections that the Patriotic Front had scooped quite a number of them. Now let's move to 2021, and in 2021 on this particular day a verification of ballot papers was being conducted ahead of the 2021 general elections on this particular day. Let's have a look at this.
11 days remain before Zambia's 2021 general elections. With ballot papers for all 156 constituencies having been received, the country is doing final preparations and is at the verification stage. Various political party representatives, Saturday 31st July 2021, visited the Electoral Commission of Zambia ECZ warehouse in Silverest to verify the ballots. While expressing satisfaction with the verification process, the political party representatives say the unknown cargo that was discovered aboard the Emirates flight Friday 30th July 2021 needs to be clarified to avoid suspicions.
We're okay, we're afraid, but we don't know what really happened. And as New Heritage Party, I think we will follow the process to the letter and ensure that things are done correctly and well, so that there is no suspicion or alarm regarding the process or what transpired at the airport.
You see, such issues, subtracts the credibility from the elections. Why? A lot of question marks. Why the forms on a plane which carried the ballot papers?
As DP, we are not happy at what happened at the airport yesterday. We strongly believe that such things in future should not repeat itself. DP would like to engage the Commission to explain as to why they allowed that to be in that charter plane.
The Patriotic Front, PF, however, states that there is nothing sinister about the cargo.
We know and fully aware of the cargoes that were loaded on the plane because every political party had gone through a process of verification. If cargoes are found on the plane, this is an election time. Yes, we'll have a necessary suspicion and people pushing a propaganda of wanting to discredit the process of this election. However, for us, like we have said time and again, we believe in institutions and we believe in the due process of the investigative wings.
ECZ Acting Chief Electoral Officer Mr. Royd Katongo says the Commission has engaged Fly Emirates to get clarification on the matter.
As a Commission, we are an interested party in this matter, and Emirates are looking into the matter, investigating the matter.
Camnet News got in contact with Fly Emirates Public Relations Advisor, who could not comment on the matter, stating that she needed to get authorization and promised to get back, but did not do so by broadcast time.
Okay, I'm not able to give you anything at the moment, but I will, bear with me and I will see if I can come back to you with anything.
Zipporah Mushala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
So that was about the verification of ballot papers in 2021 as the country was preparing for the general election. Now, moving on, police on this day had arrested 4 people in connection with the murder of 4 PF members following the clash between the UPND and PF cadres in Kanyama constituency. Let's have a look at this.
Following a fracas that took place in the capital city of Zambia, Lusaka, in Kanyama compound to be specific, where 2 Patriotic Front supporters were murdered by some suspected members of the opposition United Party for National Development, UPND, the Zambia police have reported that they have arrested 4 suspects in connection with the murder. Speaking when he addressed the media Saturday morning at the police force headquarters, Lusaka Province Police Commissioner Lakson Sakala says the 4th suspect will soon appear in court to answer to the charges.
we received a report of murder. 2 patriotic front members were murdered in Kanyama in an area called Basera. We managed at least to arrest 4 suspects. 2 were arrested by members of the public, and after arresting them, they were beaten. 2 were arrested by the police. So the total number of suspects is 4.
And when asked how the police came up with the conclusion that the 4 suspects were UPND cadres, Mr. Sakala had this to say.
They suspected UPND cadres. They came from the camp. They came from their camp and they have confessed themselves. So that's how we are able to know that these are from UPND.
The commissioner says various offensive weapons have been seized by the police, who undertook a joint operation in Kanyama compound to fish out bad eggs in the area. 43 people have since been arrested for the offense of being in possession of offensive weapons.
Of that operation, we managed at least to have 43 suspects, 3 females and 40 males. Also, alongside with the suspects, we actually did recover a number of offensive weapons. As you can see, the way they have been displayed here. These are the offensive weapons which we were found in their possession.
And one of the arrested cadre was found with a military uniform stitched with a UPND label, an offense which the deputy police spokesperson Danny Mwale says is punishable by law.
Yeah, it is an offense, I'm sure everyone knows, that putting on a military attire or something similar to it is an offense. So this should come out so clearly. We've been talking about this, we've been educating members of the public that they should desist. They should not be wearing a military attire or anything similar to it.
Apwelele kwa maparents wake akainda akawina mkazi wanga chenga chambongala na hivi komene kungu.
Prudence Chota reporting for Camnet TV News.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia is deeply saddened by the incident in Kanyama constituency in Lusaka, in which lives of 2 Patriotic Front supporters were lost under gruesome circumstances. The Commission strongly condemns this barbaric act, as it does not only violate the Electoral Code of Conduct, but also loss of life, which brings unexplained burdens on the affected families and the people of Zambia at large. As members of the public may recall, the Commission has in the past 1 month issued warnings to political players to conduct themselves in line with the provisions of the Electoral Code of Conduct. The Commission has gone further to suspend political parties and candidates that have perpetrated violence and breached the Electoral Code of Conduct. The Commission has instituted investigations in the matter, and appropriate action will be taken against those involved in the murder of the PF supporters.
Appealing to the political stakeholders to condemn and guard against the violence and allow the common decision, the common decision through the ballot box to excel. There should be a stern reaction by the ECZ against the political violence that we're experiencing today, which has threatened investment and has threatened the social justice of this country. Zambians have got many rights, and one of the fundamental rights is the right, to belonging. One can belong to any political party that he deemed fit to be. But this kind of, violence taking place, against the fundamental principles of our rights should be capped. And I wonder why most of political leaders are quiet and mute about the saga that happened in Kanyama. We are asking you to come out in the open and condemn.
Thank you very much. So that was about what transpired in Kanyama constituency in 2021 as regards political violence, and where we lost some lives in that particular incident. On that note, we come to the end of today's program. Don't forget to join us again tomorrow as we bring to you another exciting program. On behalf of the entire production team, have a blessed afternoon.